So I got some example of some cards with issues. So we got few examples here with chromium cards and holograms. So there's a dead hologram, greening chromium cards, and clear cards going yellow. So we start off with some of the chromium cards turning green. As you can see here, if you notice, it's always the skin color tones. So see her body is green and her arm is okay. It's just still the green tone. The hand is still okay. And then with this Atlas, you can see his body again is gone green, but his hands and legs are still the same normal colors. But yeah, it usually happens with skin tone. And if you see this one's completely gone, so it's just all green. And you can see with Wolverine, you can see his face gone green, his side of his arms are gone green, but the center part's still okay. But again, see skin tone, that's the pattern I see here. So usually skin tone and lighter colors. So here's a good example of like a good one and a bad one. So this is good, everything looks fine. And then here's the bad. So you can see on her thigh and the feather dusters. See the two differences. It just happens with chromium cards in those colors. And with these clear cards, because they're clear, they're transparent, they look alright. So far so good, but as you can see, Jean has some discoloration. But once you put it behind a white background, you can really see it's turned yellow. So you can, this also happens with some toy blister packs, right? It's a clear toy and then for some reason it turns yellow. Most of the time it's due to dust or heat or some form of humidity. So that's what I found, the reason why this happened for certain cards. Now we have an example of some dead holograms. So this one is an example of one that works. So you can see Superman. Here he is. Shine a light. It works. No problem. And here you see one that's just dead. Just went all black. So the reason from what I hear is because you use a lot of filament lights. So those generate heat and the heat kind of ruins the hologram. So you don't want to have it sitting in the sun for too long or in front of a light for too long. Yeah. So I don't know about LED lights, if LED lights would do the same thing, but I don't want to try on my other one. I just giving you or showing you an example of the do's and do nots. So one way on how I try to avoid this greening from happening or getting worse is to sleeve my cards. Like I'm using a deck sleeve and not the 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 basic Ultra Pro sleeves. These are still Ultra Pro sleeves, but these are for the decks. So these usually helps if you're keeping them in binders. These help from the binder sheet sticking to the card, so that if the binder sheet sticks to the card, that means there's moisture, and that's one of the reason why they turn green or go yellow. So yeah, you just want to keep it as dry as possible. If you're not keeping them in binders, you can keep them in the Ultra Pro box. So this is a box for 150 cards. So I store them in here. I sleeve them and store them in here. And then I add a little pack of silica gel just to absorb, because all it does is absorb moisture. So I use that to absorb moisture. And yeah, that's how I store some of my cards, just in case. Not sure how well this works, but I'm just taking extra precautions. I also use the Ultimate Guard deck boxes. These deck boxes are pretty good for storing cards that you would like to not see them in binders. So sometimes certain sets you want to admire them individually. So I keep them in these Ultimate Guard deck box. It's like these are not big enough to hold a silica gel pack inside. There's not enough clearance space in there. When it comes to the double sleeving, so I double sleeve and keep them in my binder sheets. This way the sheets, because over time the sheets tend to stick to the card. Like, see, for example, like here you can see the moisture has gotten into the sleeve, and you have to like stretch it out or what, or you go in there with a tissue and dry it up so it doesn't come back. Because see, if you don't do anything, it comes back. So you have to clean that sheet, dry it up. With double sleeving, it helps with this situation, so you don't have to worry about the sleeve sticking to your card. And then in the binders, I also add some silica gels. Like, this is probably not enough, but you need like a bigger one. And to take protection one step further, I get like these giant Ziploc bags, and then I stick my binder in this Ziploc bag. So this will help prevent any scratches to the surface of the binder. Plus, it also helps keeping the moisture out or dust in that ruins the cards. So this is just me being extra paranoid, because I don't like it when my cards get ruined. It's like, I like my cards a lot. I just want them safe. That is the way. You can also like put like a vacuum hose and just vacuum seal it if you want. But that's you can get those type of vacuum seal bags. But this with the silica gel inside there should be okay. And with the Ultimate Guard deck box, I keep them in my Ultimate Guard archives because they fit those deck box very neatly and nicely. So here it is. I put it in there. And then on top of that, I throw in some more silica gels. The silica gels, I'm pretty sure you got them lying around everywhere. They come in those like vitamin packs or vitamin bottles. And if you buy certain like toys, like hot toys, those silica gels are also in there. So these are basically the reasons why I suspect these cards go green like this and holograms get ruined, is because of moisture and humidity or dust, mainly due to the humidity. So you just have to keep your cards dry, make sure they don't get exposed to sun too much or dust too much. Just keep them as dry as possible. And if you know any other ways or techniques to protect and store your cards, please let me know in the comments below. I would also like to know, because I am also learning, because I made mistakes before and I don't want to ruin my cards again. So if you know any way or any certain techniques, just let me know. Thanks.